Hello, my name is Ryan Howard, and today I am going to be doing an oration, or actually magnet board, of the story of Prometheus gifting fire to humanity. This is a story that first appeared in the Theogony by Hesiod in the 8th century BCE, and has been told and retold countless times throughout history. I hope that you guys enjoy. So, where we start is long ago, high above the clouds on Mount Olympus. Above these clouds, the gods held true dominion over everything below them, the skies, the seas, the earth itself. And they sat upon Olympus in their thrones. Now, before these gods ever came to exist, there was a race that came before them, the Titans. You see, the Titans were strong, incredibly powerful individuals, mostly violent, but sometimes benevolent, as is the case of the antagonist or protagonist of our story, Prometheus. Now, Prometheus was different from the other Titans. Prometheus, as his name implies, had the power of forethought. He was able to see into the future and see what was going to happen. Now you see, with this power, Prometheus knew of an oncoming war that was to come against the gods. The giants would rise and challenge Zeus and his siblings for power. Now, one day, Zeus came to Prometheus, and he asked of Prometheus, "Prometheus, I have just finished my war with the Titans, and I have control over everything. I now require beings that will be servile and offer sacrifice." Prometheus, understanding the weight of Zeus's command, sat and thought for a while. But quickly, Prometheus went down to the river, one of the great rivers of Gaia, whose banks were rich and fertile soil, and in that soil he drew clay to form the first of mankind. Now, these first creations, they were simple. They offered sacrifice and praise to the gods, and this delighted Zeus, and it delighted all of the gods. But for Prometheus, this was challenging. You see, Prometheus had put every bit of himself into his creations. Even his own spark of imagination is latent within them. But Zeus had commanded that they were to be simple and servile. Well, as Helios passed his days traveling the sun across the world and over Mount Olympus, Prometheus began to ponder and ponder and ponder. For the first time, Prometheus was sure that he was going to outright defy Zeus, to completely go against a command of the most powerful being in all of creation. Now, of course, Prometheus had gone against Zeus in the past, but mostly in play and in jest. You know, when pursuing the random nymph, or, trying to get ahead in a race. These were simple jests, if anything, not outright defiance. Zeus had commanded that he was not to help humans past what he has done. But he was not content. So one night, as Selene, the goddess of the moon, drew the moon high above Mount Olympus, Prometheus, he schemed. He schemed to go deep down into the bowels of Mount Olympus, where he would find the forge of Hephaestus. And in this forge was the spark of creation, a fire that held everything that was and everything that would be. Understanding the gravity of what he was about to do, Prometheus paused. He knew that as soon as he took this fire, that everything would change. But he couldn't resist it. His creations were too important to him. They were his children after all. They deserved more. And so Prometheus, he stole the fire. He stole the fire from Hephaestus' forge, and he went down the embankments of Mount Olympus down to the world below, and he gifted the fire to mankind. Now, when he gifted this fire, instantaneously the cold that was plaguing mankind receded. The storms that were destroying their homes were now able to be sheltered from. The wild animals were now able to be placated. You see, not only had Prometheus gifted mankind fire, but he had gifted them the very power to define their own destinies. They had knowledge now and wisdom. Now Zeus awoke in a furious roar. "Prometheus has betrayed me," he exclaimed to the gods around him. "Bring him here to me so that we may punish him for this misgiving." And so Prometheus was bound in Zeus's lightning and brought before him. Prometheus anticipated that he was going to be punished by Zeus. After all, he was defying Zeus every bit of the way. However, I don't think he could anticipate how severe Zeus's punishment would be. For you see, the punishment was not just to Prometheus himself, but humanity needed to be punished for this newfound knowledge that they had. So for his first commandment, Prometheus was forced to create the first woman, in which every single god and goddess alike was told to gather their ill omens and curses and place it into a jar. This woman that Prometheus created was then given the jar and sent to mankind. Now, some of you may recognize the woman as that of Pandora, and the jar being the canopic jar that held all of the curses for humanity. But that is a story for another time, because we still have Prometheus to punish. So you see, after punishing mankind, Zeus told Prometheus, "Prometheus, you have never defied me like this before, and you will never defy me like this again. What say you?" Prometheus, defeated but not just, exclaimed to Zeus, "Zeus, I have served you since time immemorial, and in fact before time even began. But you asked me not to give humanity the very spark that you asked me to create them for, and one thing that you cannot see is that they will be vital to your survival in the times to come. There is a great war coming, and it will be the hands of a man that will send you and your gods to salvation from it. Furious, Zeus exclaimed, "Enough! Your punishment is to be thus. You shall be taken to the Caucasus, and you shall be chained upon the highest peak. And there my eagle will be sent each day to feast upon your liver." And so Prometheus was sent to the peaks of the Caucasus Mountains. He was chained and bound by unbreakable chains, and each day a great eagle, the very herald of Zeus himself, came to eat his liver. And by his Titan fortitude, each night his liver grew anew, making his punishment eternal. Now, his punishment may be eternal, however, not once had he wavered in his convictions. You see, his punishment was great, but what he had given his children was far greater. They now had the power to define their destinies. And so, the great Titan, Prometheus, would forever live on in his creations. Thank you.